So I'm going to make a video, and I think we should keep it in files. Okay. I've known Timmy for 29 years. When he wanted to be a trucker, I was like, don't do it. But he did it anyway. I bounced on him. I was like, see ya. Too young. I'm too pretty. I'm too hot. I ain't doing this. This is ridiculous. So we've loved each other for 29 years, okay? Okay. I understand some of you have not loved your husband for that long, or he's just a new driver. So I'm going to give you, like, the guideline. And I understand some of you are not as strong as I am, or you're not as opinionated as I am, or whatever the case may be. Okay. We love our husbands, right? We love them. That's why we married them. But if you're a victim, they will victimize you like nobody else. Because truck driving is its own entity. It is not like a regular job. They'll say they're going to come home. Truck driving companies lie about that. Just be real. If you took his shit before he was a truck driver, you're going to take his shit when he's on the truck. So I see a lot of truck driver wives put up with this shit all the time. That's why a lot of girls are on the truck with their husbands. I've met a lot of truck driver wives in my day. Many, many, many. So always, when your relationship's in jeopardy, this is something a truck driver does. He says, come with me. And you go. Because it's better than saying goodbye. So you're like, you know what? I'm going to go. Okay. I understand this doesn't apply to everybody. But I'm going to give you the very beginning of truck driver warning. Since I've seen it for 29 years. I didn't tolerate it, but I seen it. And I didn't want to tolerate it. Okay. Tim's a nice guy. Kitsy's met Tim. He's a nice guy. He'll do anything for you. But there's something about a truck driver. What are the things that I've seen for many years? I've also seen the creepy truck drivers, but I've seen this for many, many years. Truck drivers want to beat that truck. They're not afraid. Good truck drivers that have been doing it for like over 5 years, maybe less. They love the antisocial element. They love being out alone, conquering that monster. They're very adventurous, and they're very masculine. So this is what I've seen. Now the pussy guys, they stop at strip clubs. They're over there hanging out with lot lizards, whatever the case may be. You're scared if he's cheating on you? Don't be scared, girl. You'll find out eventually. Okay? So I've never been the type of woman who's like, go ahead, I'll find out, or you're texting someone. No. Timmy chased me for years. I would not marry that man. I would not do it. I was like, nope, don't trust you. Nope, you're on the truck. Nope. I had abandonment issues. So when Timmy used to go out the very beginning, I was like, I got to go. So I felt abandoned. I always wanted what my mom had, but I didn't want to be like my mom. Fucking stomach hurts. So the warning to new girls that have a driver are, number one, they have this thing in them. If they're a driver, a real driver, like they're going to stay out there. I want to beat something that's big. The problem with that, a diesel truck can get a new engine. You'll never win. Just like Timmy says. You'll never win. That's my biggest regret of my whole life, is that I became a truck driver. Now, when women say they're proud to have a truck driver, I'm like, no. I'm proud to be a wife, but I'm not proud to be a trucker's wife. And I'll tell you why. I've dealt with all the kids in total pain. I've dealt with all their abandonment issues. I've seen the kids cry from when they were little and said, I never had a father. They miss holidays. They miss important dates. And the company does that to them. And not only that, they make the decision because they got to make that money, right? The girls that are 9-to-5ers here, they don't relate to us. We're not the same. We're not the same. So a couple holidays go by, an anniversary goes by, and you're just brokenhearted. I mean, you're just dying. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. That's why a lot of guys don't make good money, because they stay local, so that way they're home all the time. Because that girl's like, ain't doing it. So Timmy's like a big shot. He likes to make big money. And he's adventurous, and he's loves a challenge, very much so. So I've dealt with the kids, I've dealt with my broken heart. I've gotten so used to it that if he doesn't come on a birthday, I'm like, whatever. I'm just so used to it. But I also told Timmy at the very beginning, even though he knew I wasn't going to put up with no truck driver, because my daddy told me, don't ever be with them. They're so dirty. They're so dirty men. Uncommitting, blah, blah, blah. And my dad worked, he ran a restaurant that was a truck stop, because my dad's like a 4-star chef. And my brothers did it. So my father was like, truck drivers can't be trusted. Because he would see them, and that was the perception of truck drivers, that they were like these big douchebags. That's not the truth. And I'll stand up for Timmy every day of the week on that. You don't have to be a douchebag out there. You can be a nice guy. But there's some women in the group, I'll just say some, maybe a few, that literally are victims. Victims of their husband, victims of the behavior, victim. I was like that in the beginning. I'd be like, oh my God, I miss him so much. That's true, you do. I'm not so fucking mean, you guys, that I've just been with other men. And not everybody does what they do. And so for years I'm telling Timmy, I know you're doing this for that reason. Don't lie to me, tell me the truth. And he didn't do that. Okay? So 27 years later, Timmy tells me the truth. The truth is, I have to eat eggs because that's all I'm craving. The truth is, Timmy wanted to beat that truck. He wanted to show the world. He thought he was a Billy badass. That's not true. What ended up happening was the kids have issues. You have issues. You're freaking paranoid. You're this, you're that, you're angry, you're subconsciously, you're trying to deal with your own issues in life, which is just being a human being. And you've got this man that's out there doing this job that nobody else wants to do. There's no respect in the job whatsoever. And they're, in my opinion, they're fulfilling something in themselves that tells them. Now, I've met other truck drivers too. They're like really nice guys and stuff. But the problem is, and I think Kitsy might be one of those, where Les still respects her to a certain degree. He listens, Kitsy's probably sacrificed a lot too. And she's probably seen moments with Les that are just astronomically weird. And here's the issue. She's strong, so you can do it. Okay, that's a catch-22. Because I'm not just strong, I'm like leather skin. But I have a real sensitive heart. So after a couple years of this, you just go, I don't know about this. The kids are hurt, they're crying, they have abandonment issues, you have abandonment issues. You start not trusting them because you're like, now you're missing holidays, I don't know what you're doing. And then there's some girls that their husband just does it and it's all great and gravy because he works local. My whole husband's over the road. There's more money to be made over the road. The other issue is that if you're going to be a victim, if you're a real victim-y, they'll walk all over you. Not because you're a piece of shit. It's because, okay, so they're antisocial. I would say Les is not that way. Kitsy's husband. He's very social. Tim hates the road. He hates other truck drivers. He doesn't want to deal with newbies. He doesn't want to deal with this. And that's just because he's done it for so long. He knows their pattern. They're antisocial. They have horrible communication skills because they're always on the phone with you. So they don't have to really look at you and see your eyes and see your face and see your expressions and know. And the only time Timmy calls me on FaceTime, by the way, that was why we got the phones. The only reason why Timmy will FaceTime me is to see what I'm thinking. Because you can't visually see that person. So you're always on the phone. And they'll call you and you'll be so stressed out. They're going into a place, there's some twister or some thing and the road and there's no respect and all these things, and you can get caught up in that whole moment too. That's just years and years of being with the truck driver. You get used to that. I mean, he drives in Canada and Newfoundland. I mean, we're talking slipping all over the place. But let's not forget, he's still alive. He didn't die. So I was sitting there sweating balls, and I still sweat balls. I mean, I still sweat balls because that's my best friend. I've known him for 29 years. Okay, so I did some things, okay? I was like, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. I even actually served him in the truck with him, making him think we were going to have sex. I've done stuff like that because you build up this intolerance. You build up this lack of communication. Then they come in and they're tired. They're burned out. They're antisocial. They sick of talking to other drivers. They're sick of truck stops. They're just hobo. Okay, hobo all the way. They're dirty. Their clothes are dirty. They're a hot mess. You're unpacking his bag, and all of a sudden he's sitting on the couch, and you're like, I've been over here alone. I don't even know who you are. I mean, I know who you are, who I think you are, but you know, you're just in hobo land. So we call that hobo time. When he first comes in, it's hobo time. He's psycho. He's been drinking too much coffee. He's antisocial. He's a nice guy, but it's only loading and unloading, breakdowns and everything. So when you're a new truck driver wife, you're like, "Ugh, I miss him so much. I miss Timmy too. But the thing is, to go through it for so long, you have to get thick skin. Because if you don't, he'll take you out. You'll be completely depressed and in the bed, eating bonbons and being like, fuck it. But see, I never forgot what my daddy told me. I'm making eggs. So the thing about new truck driver wives is that they deserve support because they don't know what they're getting into. They don't know all this shit's going to go down. So when it starts going down, you have to be there for them. Because if somebody would have been there for you, maybe you would have lasted a little bit longer. So we have that issue. And then we have the weird part, the weird behavior, the not cooperating, the not showing up, and you're like, seriously, we don't even have Thanksgiving anymore. Because if Dad's not going to be there, why have it? So I got so used to that, I'd bake a chicken. So when he finally came home for the first Thanksgiving, now mind you, that was 25 years. He didn't come home for a Thanksgiving. It was always him running his ass to get that. So he could give me this great house. That's not the truth. That's not true at all. I don't care what anyone says. It's ridiculous. It's not just a living. It's a choice that they made. It's a choice for them to go out there. So if you don't put your firm hand down right away, they'll work that emotion, which is, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you. And I'm sad, sad, sad. So I've had to learn to be tough with Timmy, because if I'm not tough, he'll walk all over the communications. He'll walk all over this. He'll not tell me what's going on. I don't know half the time when he calls me, he's all pissed off what happened. I don't. But now I've done it for so long that I kind of get the gist of what's going on. Like he went to go load, so that's why he's grumpy. He's went to unload, that's why he's grumpy. Somebody ripped him off, so that's why he's grumpy. He didn't eat for 3 days, that's why he's grumpy. He had 52 gallons of coffee, that's why he's grumpy. So when he first comes in, this is years later now, I've dealt with this for years. When he comes in, I'm like, who do you think you're fucking with? Do you think I have not seen this shit? You need to get your shit straight. I give you 1 day. 1 day to shit show. 1 day, Tim. You have 1 day to adjust, 1 day to defrag, 1 day to collapse. And then the rest of the time is my time. If you don't give me that time, I'm going up to my garden, going outside, and I'm getting my car, and I'm doing what I want. Because if you do, and you keep putting up with that, and keep putting up with that, they'll keep walking all over it. Because they're truck drivers, they're out there alone. They have this thing in their mind, and of course you want them to do another job. There's no consistent work. The economy's bad, so go be on a truck, you know. And so I've dealt with this for so long. I've put up with it for so long. I have listened to the stories for so long. But what about the kids? What about this lack of communication? Did we ever know we were getting into this? Not really. It was a game to him. It was just a weird thing. He was a journeyman carpenter. He could have done anything he wanted, but he wanted to beat that truck. There was something in Tim Thomas that said, go beat that truck. and the years of being alone at night, the years of the endless roads that never fail. The road just goes on and on. There's roads everywhere. So when they discovered that, it's not an adventure anymore. If you're not on the truck with him, you have to deal with being home. You have to go to the grocery store alone, you have to do holidays alone, you have to talk to the kids alone when they flip out. You have to deal with all this stuff alone. So if you don't learn to do that when he's home, it's a shit show too. Because when he comes home, it's like a little vacay for him. So it's like, oh, do everything for him, cook for him, he's doing this, he's that. No, no, no. Me and Tim have a 1 to 2 day limit. If you're not behaving in a manner that's human, then I don't tolerate you and I go on with my life. And everybody thinks I'm a bitch because of it. I don't care. They don't know what it's like to be with a man who has been in Canada, who runs rough roads, who has done this for years. And I also remember that conversation where he said, I should have never done this. Well, that was 25 years later. Am I a good wife? Yes. But do I tolerate his shit? No. It's bad enough that you're dealing with all this stuff, and then he comes home and he's taking it out on you. What you didn't sign up for it, he did. He thought it was a brilliant idea. Maybe you encouraged him. I don't know. But you cannot tolerate these things forever, because if you don't, they'll push it. I think maybe Kitsy's the only one that I've met that she has drama too. She has stuff she deals with too. She has her kids, she has the house, she has all this stuff. But I know Kitsy, like I've been in her presence. There's a balance of respect. But Tim has done this for so long, for so many years. Like he met Les and loved him. The reason why he met Les and loved him because Les is so fucking funny. And they fucking clicked, and they were like, hey, we work for the same company, and this is fucking fun, and like, we're dudes together. But Tim doesn't let everybody in. He's really picky about who he lets in. Because he doesn't like the nasty truck drivers that go to the stripper and text women and do all that. He hates those guys. There's no respect for them. Yes, I'm a proud wife, but I'm not a proud trucker wife, because why should I be proud of the fact that my husband has destroyed lives? Why should I respect? At this point, this is all he can do. So he has to go back out on the road. So it's just no longer even an option. When he came home this last time, the first thing I heard, I'm not kidding, was I'm going to get a job somewhere else and do something different. 3 months later, back on the truck. That's all they know. They hate it. They freaking hate it. Because the kids are calling, the wife is calling. There's no communication. They don't know how to talk to anybody. The only time they talk to anybody is a dispatcher and unloading, loading. That's only 3 communications a day. Then they talk to you, or maybe they spent time on the road without you, which Timmy did, because I bounced on his ass and was like, I gotta go. You're too crazy. I'm not doing this with you. So the reason why I'm so cruel to him, so mean, is because if you don't do that, they will walk all over you. Yes, they will. And they'll justify it too. I'm tired. The truck broke down. I'm this. I'm that. I do not sympathize at all, because I'm the one that got the kids and pulled them out of it. I'm the one that held this whole place down when he couldn't talk because he was in Canada. There was no phone service. I'm the one that had pent-up feelings of abandonment and being alone and scared and, what was my life going to be like? I love that guy. But even regular marriage is hard. So how the hell are you going to have a relationship with a truck driver? Oh my God. So everything that makes us get a divorce, that's why we vent. Everything that makes us get a divorce is this thing that happens. So in the beginning, if you do not put your foot down, if you don't say, that's not going to happen, I just want you to know that I'm not down with that. I'm not down with this whole not communicating with me, not coming home for holidays. I'm not down with it. You know you did wrong. You know you messed up. You made an excuse and said it was about money. It's not about money, Timmy. You have done things to hurt people because this was your dream. So he fesses up to it. Fine. I don't care. Fess up to it. And I hold it to him too. I look at him and go, no, 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 no. That's not what you said when you went out there. No, 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 no. So I have to keep him in check, which sometimes puts me in mother status. It sucks. It sucks. But if you put your foot down right away and say, number one, we're going to have to communicate. I know sometimes you can't talk on the phone. I get that part. But when you do have time, we need to talk about how I feel and how you feel. And this, I miss you, I'll see you soon. That doesn't get it. You have to communicate. Very high communications. I have to see his face. I have to see that face. That's why I do videos. That's why I'm on FaceTime. I have to see his face and go, okay, we're still in this. It's okay. We'll make it. Because I don't see him. I don't see. So there's this thing where people glamorize truck driving. Glamorize it. He's so good. You know what? I'm sorry, but that's not true. Out of all the people in Tim's family, 4 of them are truck drivers. Each one of those truck drivers are different. He even got his son into it. He trained his brother. He trained his best friend. All those people have the same issues: communication, anger, exploding, lazy. There's all these things they do because nobody's holding them accountable. All they have to do is pick up a load and drop off a load. Pick up a load, drop off a load. Our poor husbands, they have to go down the road. I go down the road to Walmart too. I go down the freeway to go to get one of the kids because they're flipping out. I have to do a lot of things too. So I stopped thinking of it in terms of poor Timmy. Yes, I'm scared. He's on the ice road. Yes, it's hard. I get it. But I have to have some kind of standard, because if I don't have a standard, he just keeps hitting me like this. And the longer they're out there, this is what happens. So now it's like this. Don't bump me. Don't do it, Tim. Back up. Back up. You promised me. We sat down. We made agreements together. Keep your fucking word. If you don't keep your fucking word, I'm going to blow like a top. This is my life. This is my marriage. This is all I have. I could go off with another guy. I've done it. I've done it in 29 years. Yes, I have. I've been married before, too, when I was 16. So I didn't marry Timmy for this reason. Because when I get married, I'm committed. I'm very committed. I don't cheat. I don't do this. I don't do that. But when it came to Timmy, I crossed all those lines. So you have to learn to say, before you go, let's just make some agreements. And I'm going to hold you to it. Like, not just say, hey, let's talk. Me and Timmy talk all the time. We talk about all kinds of shit, like retirement and all that stuff. So this is my advice. When you know he's going out there for the first time to get his CDL, and he's going to drive on the road, and he has to go over the road. He can't do local. Oh my God, there's no money there. And so he goes over the road, and then a company takes advantage of him. Okay, poor truck driver. That's not true. There's wiser decisions. There's people out there that are willing to pay the money for sign-on, whatever. So the truth is, after, and this is what Timmy says, after about 4 years, they stay out there. They don't have to be accountable. They don't have to really communicate. It's a really nice, cushy place to be. You're just in this cab. You're by yourself. You listen to your music. You go to sleep when you want. You can have dirty clothes. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to deal with the kids' drama. You know, they call you on the phone, but you're not really there, right? Or they text them. That's like the worst form of communication ever. So the reason why I'm making this video is that if you let him do that stuff, you won't have any sanity. Like, you'll just be insane all the time. I know. I deal with it. So when we decided to do this, like when he wanted to go to the ice road, I said to him, you're making this decision, not me. If you want to go to the ice road, that's on you, not me. I still expect communication. So when Timmy gets service, first fucking thing he does, call Cindy. You know why? I can check his phone bill. I'm not stupid. So I have lived with this driver for years. And his excuses, and then the reason why he ain't coming in, and you don't even care at this point. You're like, okay, you're not coming in for Easter? Okay. You're so freaking used to it that you don't even think twice about it. You're just like, he's not coming in. Hurts your feelings. Sometimes it really twists the knife. So when the communications are at 0 and they don't come in for a holiday, you just flip. Because you're already putting up with stuff. You're already in a bad place. Maybe he said something 2 days ago and he's grumpy. Maybe this happened, that happened. And it's always not their fault, right? No. You can still be in a healthy marriage and be on the road. Just no girls ever put up with it. You know, or somebody did put up with it and just wanted your money or whatever. Like his first fucking wife and the second fucking wife. And I went off and got boyfriends. I was like, bye. Have fun with that truck. But as I got older, I realized I was still in love with Tim. I've always been in love with him since the minute I seen him. And my angst was not directed at this person who has a good side. It was directed at the bad truck driver. It was directed at the promise. Don't tell me you're going to do something and not do it. Don't fucking make my life more miserable, because it's bad enough I already deal with your ass to begin with. It's bad enough that we're in this situation that you continue to believe in. So when he fessed up and said he should have never done it, it was 25 years later, 26, 27. Now there's no more kids. They're all grown. Now there's no more issues. They've all said what they had to say to him. Explosions. You should see how the kids are. They're all fucked up. So the kids have become these people. They've become this weird, freaky hobo. You're sitting here going, how do I even act with a husband? So they finally come in after 2-3 months. And you're like, oh, there's the guy I love. But he's also said and done things to make you explode. So when they walk in, you're like, I gotta drive down to a truck stop, right? I'll be there at 10:30. You'll stop by the grocery store or do something else because you're just so used to them inserting themselves whenever they want to. No matter what you said, no matter we have enough money, they'll still go back out. They'll still go run another run. It depends on who your husband is. That's flatbedding. That's how Timmy rolls. That's who he is. That's his commitment to this job. That's his escape. That's his thing. But the thing is, the roads never end and the motors get replaced. That's sad. The roads never end and the engine gets repaired and it just keeps going. And the wheels keep rolling. So now my husband's in the ice road. Ice road trucker. Everybody glamorizes this fucking ice road shit. It's not fucking funny. It's fucking horrible to think every day. But he did it to himself because he was supposed to make big fat money. He was supposed to be this Billy badass. Guess what happened? That truck beat him into the ground. So when you're signing up for this shit, be sure that you're assertive. Stop depending on him calling you because they don't call sometimes. Stop thinking that everything's going to be great because sometimes it's not. Accept the fact that he's done this thing and he might keep doing it. That's my point. And when they keep doing it after 25 years, and here I am to testify about it, then you learn to be jaded. You learn to have that tough skin. Because it wasn't always Tim's fault. It was sometimes trucking companies. It was this, it was that. So they always say they're going to come home. They don't. They say that, all this stuff. You can retire. You're so great. So, there's stuff that is about trucking that isn't their fault. But they've allowed that. So you build a resentment. So when he comes in, we have to defrag off of that. We have to come out of that each and every time he comes home. We have to learn to be together again. Learn to function as a couple. And then boom, he's gone. So no sooner do you build it, it goes right back out there. And the first couple days, you're like, I miss you, I love you, I miss you, I love you. Kissy face, kissy face. And then that just dissolves. It dissolves. Not because they don't love you. It's not because they don't care. It's just that they're in this environment that is truly fucking shitty. And I mean, when I say shitty, I mean shitty. So they're Billy Badasses and they're on this big diesel truck and they know what's going on. Not every wife's going to be out on the road with them. Not every woman wants to do that because you have to be there with the kids. They do get older. Sorry, they do get older. And they need you. You're the mommy and the daddy. So I warn you, girl, be firm, stand firm. Yes, you're allowed to have your moments. Yes, it hurts your feelings. Yes, he does crazy stuff. Yes, you're the supporting, loving wife. But at the same time, if you don't keep your identity, you'll end up being one of those victim truck driver wives where you're like, and there's sometimes we gotta vent. I mean, it just gets nuts. They'll text you something, you don't know what it means. Somebody accuses them of being with another woman. There's just all kinds of stuff with truck driving. But Timmy and I are past that. We're past all that drama. We're past all that. We're in a new realm. It's called New Realm Craziness. Okay? And if you don't learn to communicate effectively, he will drop off the side of the planet, come home, act like a douchebag, be like he's 7 years old, and the truth is, these are grown damn men. Timmy is not allowed to come home and play on a video game. I tell him, you're a fucking adult now. You're a fucking adult. Act like one. So his excuses don't mean anything to me. Don't give me no excuses. Because I'm here being an adult. I'm here listening to the kids. I'm here watching them fall apart. I'm here with a holiday. I'm here by myself. So if you don't get that tough exterior with a soft interior, then you will lose your marriage. You will go, what the fuck is going on all the time? So when I build up like that, I unleash on videos because I need it to come out. I need somebody to look at me and go, you're okay, man. But when you're a truck driver wife, sometimes you're not okay. Even if they're the nicest guy in the fucking world. I think there's a part of us deep down that thinks he loves me. He would never do that to me. And the reason why I know Timmy doesn't cheat is that he's always been that way. He's just always been that way. He's been with other women, but he's always been that way. He just always was that kind of guy. Super handsome. Everybody wanted to get in his pants. Timmy was super shy. He just didn't do it. I did. Confession. I did. I was like, woohoo, found me a boyfriend. So I went through that stage. So I'm a hot commodity. That's the way I look at myself. No other woman would put up with this shit. Maybe for like 2 years. And then she'd be out. The crazy places he goes to, you have no idea. No fucking idea. Double drop, flat bed, fragile glass. He was that far off the ground, couldn't even hit a bump, and never broke a piece of glass. Timmy's one of the best truck drivers I've ever met in my life. And I've known a lot of truck drivers. He's better than anybody he's ever trained. He's good at what he does. But that is not the point. It has nothing to do with him being as good as he is. I give Timmy that credit all the time. I'm the first one that cheerleads Timmy. But I am the first one that says, you're not communicating. I can feel it. I can sense it before it even comes. So you have to build all those things. You have to remember he loves you. You have to remember why he's out there. But when he comes in, don't let him walk all over you. Be like, I give you 1 to 2 days. Then you need to act like a human being. Then we're going to go do stuff. Then we're going to participate together. And then we're going to have a relationship. It's that simple. So I don't tolerate Timmy. I'm a no fuss type of girl. So you have to learn to be that way. You have to learn to stand up to yourself. I cannot tell you the trucker wives that have told me the shit they've taken. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. He's gonna get away with that forever. Or you'll meet a girl, and this is another example. You'll meet a girl who's not even married to a truck driver. They're just like boyfriend, girlfriend. But you love them. Like every other relationship. So they come into town, you show up, it's sexy time. And then when he's gone, you have this fucking huge fight. Yeah, even the married women are going through that. Because he didn't tell you something. He didn't say something. Oh, he's busy. So am I. I'm busy too, man. I have things going on in my life too. So when Timmy will call me, he'll say, "What's up, babe?" But that took 25 years. What's going on, sweetie? I'm like a lot of shit. So when I got sick, that scared the shit out of Tim. He's never seen me sick. I'm strong. I take care of everything. That's just who I am. I've learned to be like that. I used to be sensitive Sally. And I've learned to be this way. This is the safest way to go for me. Do I believe in him? Yes. Do I take a shit? No. Why don't I take a shit? Because he's like a child. He's like a fucking child. If you let your kids walk all over you, guess what's going to happen? Your husband's going to walk all over you. I don't give him free rein unless Timmy is on a dangerous road. The rest of it, simple, easy peasy. If he's running the United States, that's nothing. That's nothing. But he doesn't come home, well, that's truck driving. That's just truck driving. Every single driver that I booked on a load, they said the same thing. I used to think it was personal. It's not personal. Everybody's doing that out there. Everybody's sacrificing their families. Now, if you have a local guy, you're different. You're not like us over the roads. But you still have those problems, right? I've seen local women lose their freaking minds. So this is my advice. You can take it or leave it. You can say like, oh, she's just strong. That's why she does that. No. No. I'm not strong. I've learned to be strong. But the agreement is you can only be a hobo for 1 to 2 days. After that, you're expected to participate, be with the children, deal with the lost holidays. All that shit has to be handled. Him coming home and bringing me a stuffed animal is not justified for his nasty little behavior. Oh, but he's a truck driver. So what? There's guys that come home every night. Imagine if you're in one of those marriages. It would be over, like in a month. So it's hard not only to be a wife anyway, it's hard to deal with this shit that goes down. But it's also extremely difficult to hold a marriage together at 50% divorce rate. So why take somebody's shit and tell yourself it's okay? He just ignores me. I don't give a shit. You know what I tell him? If you ignore me, bitch, I'm going to go into my garden, I'm going to do what I want, and I'll see you on the flip side. I tell him that all the time. Catch on the flip side, Timmy. No, babe. No. It's not because he's a pushover. He's a dick. I don't know if you've ever fucking seen Timmy. He can be a strong little shit. You ain't seen him when he's popped off. He can pop off real good. So when he's tired and I hear it and it's the first week of the job, I get it. I just let it go. Not a big deal. When it's 3 months into the job, no. Straighten your shit out, pull it together. You're the one that pushed on that load. You're the one that took it early. You're the one that did this. You're the one that did that. I didn't make those choices. You did. Oh, you should have seen how bad it was when I was booking his loads. It was 10 times, 1,000 times worse. So that's my advice to new girls. Don't be scared. Trust me, your marriage will last longer when you're a truck driver wife because you don't see every little defect they have. But don't become the victim either. That's just bad form, ladies. Keep your shit together. Flip out. I know you're going to. It's okay. That's completely fucking normal. Vent, because it's hard to deal with it and keep it locked up inside. Maybe he's in a low and bad area, you don't have reception, whatever. So it's not that you're not nice. It has nothing to do with that. You can be nice, but it's just, there's lines. Don't let them cross it. If they cross it, tell them no. No. We're not doing that anymore. So create a relationship that's built on trust. If they violate that, there's repercussions, and that's just the way it is. Yep. Potatoes go bad. It's another thing. He'll come here and he'll get milk and potatoes. Who's that? My daughter. You learn. So stop the madness.